Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back to you again with another reading. This time, it's on a highly requested kind of panic button reading on TikTok. Is TikTok going to be banned from the US? So I have done a social media reading every year, and TikTok was a part of that social media reading this year in January. I'll put a link to it up here. So I did do a little reading on TikTok, but it looks like we're getting down to the nitty gritty here of what is going to happen with TikTok and if the US is going to ban it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a reading on this and hopefully get a little bit more information. I'm going to do my best. Remember, these readings are all alleged for entertainment only, and let's get started. Okay, so I guess the first thing is whether or not it's actually going to get banned. Ooh, Emperor. Temperance. Justice. Ace of Cups. Okay, I can tell you right off the bat, the Justice card is like politics getting involved. It is pretty bad. They absolutely are not going to let go of the chokehold that they have on TikTok. Even if TikTok is able to get away, quote unquote, with it for right now, it'll only be a matter of time till they come for it again. They are absolutely pissed off that they do not have control over TikTok. That is the problem, Emperor. I want to be in control of TikTok. Do I think that okay, so obviously they're upset that China has control of TikTok and not the US, right? I get that. Do I think that that bothers them? Yes. Do I think that that's the main reason why they want it gone? No. I think the reason they want it gone is because they want access to the control and influence that TikTok has. So they don't like that China has access to us through the app and China has control, quote unquote, of us through the app. They don't like that, but that's actually not why they're mad. They're mad that they don't have it for themselves. So they don't care as much as they're pretending that China is mining information from us, all this other propaganda shit that people are saying. That's not really what their issue is. They don't like that, but that's not their issue. Their issue is that they can't do it themselves. Allegedly for entertainers only. Now the Ace of Cups is there and the Temperance card is there. It seems like whoever is in charge of TikTok does not bow down. So I'm not sure. This reminds me of like when Meta was caught doing some weird shit. So it reminds me, it makes me feel like there are other companies that are willing to do things that TikTok isn't or can't, probably because it's owned by China. And because they can't access certain things in TikTok, they're mad. That's literally what this is. They will be finding a legal loophole to screw over TikTok, and TikTok will also be finding a legal loophole to continue to exist. Especially with the Ace of Cups, TikTok is going to get help from someone else, from another company. There's one other company that wants to help. I don't know if they want to buy them out. I feel like this has happened before with another app where it was controlled by some other company outside the US, and then they just ended up selling it to a US-owned company. Was it Grindr, or did I make that up? I'm not sure. But the Judgment card is upright, the Two of Pentacles and the Three of Cups is reversed. So to me, this is about handing TikTok off to someone else if they have to. So I think there might be a transitional stage or a transition or an acquisition being made as a last resort if this this narrative still gets pushed. So I don't think TikTok will ever go away. It might just change hands briefly. Someone might like absorb them or like own them, but not really. So maybe another company will be able to advertise through TikTok. Whoever acquires TikTok, so their odds of this happening are pretty high. It's not 100% guaranteed, but this is their like plan B if they can't get rid of the legislation. And it does look like we're headed really, really straight for a plan B right now. I'm not gonna lie. They need a Hail Mary. Regardless, they might advertise through the app, but they're gonna leave it alone for the most part. I don't think this is Meta, though. To me, this isn't necessarily a competitor. It's another person that's kind of floating. It reminds me of like when Amazon bought out Twitch. It was so random, and Amazon kind of just wanted it to fluff the stats. That's what it reminds me of. Like one of these companies is kind of just going to float around. It's kind of like when Elon Musk bought Twitter out of nowhere. That's what it's giving. So I think TikTok has help from unlikely places. Sorry, I just hit the mic. What's interesting is I'm seeing a new way to monetize through TikTok that is incredibly valuable. I wonder if they're going to make it so you can like watch a TikTok live and then click things on the camera and on the screen and purchase or something like that. There's something to do with purchasing an AI with TikTok. Like AI being able to scan what's on the screen and you being able to purchase things you see through the screen. There's something that they're talking about. I wonder if it has to do with, you know how the algorithm can hear what you're saying and pick up what you're texting and stuff, and it shows you ads. I'm wondering if they're trying to figure out a way to make it so that you can just purchase through the live directly. Because I feel like they're trying to push live for that reason, to push direct sales. Especially because I'm seeing Twitch and I'm like, Twitch is lagging behind in live culture, so. King of Swords reversed, Fool upright, and the Eight of Wands. If they have to make a whole new app, they would. TikTok ain't going nowhere. I do think we're going to see restriction for children and TikTok further. But I've been seeing this across the board for all social media. If you check my social media reading, I've been seeing this. Children's access to social media is going to be a big hot button topic. Also, anonymity on the internet is also going away slowly but surely. Those are the two. When I see Fool, I see that as children anonymity. Both of those are definitely being lessened. I think TikTok is going to be stricter, and I do think it's going to be a little bit more like, I hate to say this, a little bit more Facebooky in terms of you are going to see who you are. I don't think you're going to be able to troll for as long as you think you are. I think there are going to be restrictions put in place, but I don't think this is just for TikTok. I think there's going to be talks of legislation about anonymity on the internet coming up here soon. I've been saying this for a while. It's coming soon. The next couple of years, you're going to start to see how... I knew this was going to go in the direction of the internet. This is why I was like hesitant to this reading. So I'm like, how much information am I going to get at the ban? It's going to be about the internet. I wonder if the election is going to cause problems. I think a conversation about bots is going to start the entire elimination of anonymity on the internet, because the Three of Pentacles is like job, and I see that as like elections and stuff, and Magician is communication, and the Lover's card, to me, I see that as like paying people to communicate, paying people to say things, people being influenced by not real people, or people being influenced by real people who are paid off. All alleged, for entertainers only. So to me, I think that there's going to be strict, they're going to try and utilize things like the elections and stuff like that's going on with the world as to try to create legislations to lessen anonymity on the internet. Your days are numbered in being anonymous on the internet, I'm telling you. They are. I also think there are some financial reports that are going to need to be made public about TikTok soon. Something about greed and the money that they're making versus money they're spending and where the money's going. I'm wondering if they're going to force them to be transparent about the way money is handled. Not only sponsorships, but also payouts. I really think TikTok is going to go through an entire rebirth of their monetization features because of some of the things that are maybe not super legal when they're owned by the US. If or when, girl. Nine of Pentacles is reversed. Wands reversed, and Ten of Cups. I think they actively tried to steer away from influencers and like creating influencers. I think what they're trying to do is like create... so this is the argument, and this is going to be for and against TikTok, but I think TikTok is trying to generate an ongoing conversation within its current community. meaning your geographical location. You know how like the Nextdoor app is like for people in your specific area, like your neighbors? That's what the argument about TikTok is. And that's where they're trying to push it, where it is an ongoing conversation of what's happening to you in your geographic location. So they're trying to steer it to more community based, whether it be your direct community of people that live near you or your hobby community. They're trying to steer away from influencing and influencers. And I think that's why their monetization is going to start to change differently, because I think this is going to be a conversation about where they're headed in the future of TikTok, and also the argument of why TikTok is so influential. Well, if you're going to be about people in your community, you have too much influence, you need to be owned by the US soil. So I think that's kind of where the argument is going to start to be. You're starting to push yourself into our waters. Basically, it's like, well, your TikTok is doing what we do without the rules. When we campaign for a political figure, we have rules in which we are allowed to campaign. You're basically campaigning without rules because you're directly reaching out to people in the vicinity of wherever they opened up TikTok. So I think that's where the gray area is and where a lot of the arguments are going to come. It's like, well, why do I have to follow rules when you don't? Because you're basically campaigning for whatever it is that's getting pushed on their For You page. It's an interesting conversation. It's an interesting way of looking at this. The Ace of Swords reverse, the Ten of Pentacles reverse, and the Queen of Wands. And you also, you're not having to like lobby for things or find money or find financial backing. And you're making a ton of money off of it. So I think it's all about the loopholes that TikTok is getting into. TikTok is touching and dipping their toes in waters that other platforms other than like Facebook and Meta have steered away from. So I think that they're having the issue that Meta had, the issue that Twitter had, is that you're becoming too influential and now you need to be regulated, which I kind of understand. I also think there are a lot of very, very influential people who are maybe celebrities or whatever that are terrified of TikTok, because I kind of see this as de-influencing. And it reminds you of like the falling off of the Kardashians. The Two of Wands is reversed, the Hierophant's upright, and the Six of Cups. What you guys used to love, you no longer love. It's not fair. So I'm seeing a pushback from the industry, the entertainment industry as well. Because I think they're frustrated that they're not able to manipulate it as well as they would like to. I guess the music industry has learned the proper way to sort of manipulate the TikTok audience. But other than that, I think people are struggling. And there is some sort of like, well, good, fuck them. I think there might be like, oh, let's take a picture with this person who's against TikTok. Oh, let's, donate to this cause that helps this thing. I think you're going to see a lot of pushback with TikTok because, again, if you can't eat at the table, I want to destroy it. I just think TikTok as a whole is going to fundamentally change. I think TikTok changes with trends. And I think that's why it's going to keep lasting. It's because they're changing with trends. De-influencing is popular, so they're not pushing influencers anymore. I'm telling you right now, that things are changing. TikTok adapts to survive. TikTok is an AI. And that is a problem, is that TikTok, that's exactly what this is. TikTok is not a social media, it's an AI. And that is why they want regulation. If you want my opinion, I actually somewhat agree, just for the simple fact of after I just pulled these cards, I can tell you TikTok is an AI. It's not an app and it's not a social media, it's an AI. And so I do think that it needs regulations. I actually agree. Now, as strict as they want it, probably not, but I do think that it needs regulations. Because this is about walking away and being reborn. That is about AI taking over. So essentially that's like the AI is stronger than the social media aspect. So to me, that's what that translates as, if anyone's interested in how I read that. Because this is like walking away from what I used to be, I'm turning into something new, and I'm progressing into a new future with Chariot, Ace of Wands, and Eight of Cups reversed. Like it's become its own sentient being almost. So Two of Swords, Eight of Swords reversed, and the Four of Cups. Yeah, I mean, the argument here is that people are desensitized to things and, they're becoming zombies. Yeah, I mean, we all know that. That's boring. We already know that. But I think they also feel like TikTok is having too much of an influence on the way people make decisions. And the problem is that what they're feeding you is not always 100% the truth. It's only one narrative. Yep, the moon is reversed, the empress is reversed, and the devil card. So this is, you know how like on Twitter, if something is fake news, they now have a little alert that says fake news. That's essentially what they're trying to push with TikTok, is that there's too much misinformation being spread. And since it's an AI, it's like a dictionary being incorrect. The dictionary has to be right, and there are certain rules. So I think that's really what they're looking for is transparency. So yeah, I do think that'll slowly happen. That's kind of what I see. I don't know if there's anything else you want me to touch on. Put it down in the comments down below, but that's kind of what I'm going to leave it at. So will TikTok be banned? They're not going to stop trying. So I think it's going to have to change and evolve and perhaps be sold off to someone else for the time being. But we'll see. If you like that, make sure you tip. There's a link to my PayPal down below. What news is art says thanks you money directly. Follow me Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Antphrodite. I'm on TikTok and I stream on TikTok too. Antphrodite. Okay. Until next time. Bye guys.